Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Mawahib. So in today's video I really want to make more pillar candles with you guys. Now I do consider myself a beginner with making pillar candles, but without me talking too much, I'd love for you guys to click on that subscribe button down below and give this video a huge thumbs up. Without further ado, let's just get straight into today's video.
Let's begin by wicking my molds. So the one that I'm picking up right here is from 4 candles, and I don't know the measurements off of my head, but I'll leave them down below if you guys are interested. So as you guys can see, there's a hole at the bottom of the mold. All you need to do is just insert the wick through the hole. So now that you've inserted the wick through that hole, all you need to do now is just grab a generous amount of blue tack to cover that hole. And the reason why we do that is because if you don't cover that hole, you guys, all your wax will seep through onto the counter. I am going to be doing 3 pillar candles today, and I am going to be choosing them at random colors. I don't really have a color palette in mind. I'm just going to go with the flow. Before I forget, the wick that I'm using for all the candle molds today, or the pillar candles, is an Eco 2, and the wick that I'm using is a raw wick. You can use pre-waxed wick, but I've never actually tried that before. I might actually try that next and see how that works with the candles. Let me know if you are interested in me burning these pillar candles with you guys on camera, so you guys can have an idea how they burn or how the wicks are working. There was already a hole in place for me for this mold, which I'm super grateful for, because sometimes when I pierce a hole through these molds, guys, I get so worried about them being off center. So I'm so grateful that this one has a hole already. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the KERA Soy Pillar Wax. If you guys are interested to try this wax out, my discount code is still available, Mawahib10 from Livemoor. I'm gonna pop my discount code right here on the screen for you guys, and obviously leave a link down below if you're interested. But as you guys can see, the KERA Soy Pillar Wax came in flake form, and it's not that of a creamy wax actually. And I'm just gonna go ahead and measure about 160 grams of wax, I believe, for one of my pillar candles. And to be fair, for all of the candles that I made, I was slightly over with my measurements, so next time I make these candles I'll probably measure a little less. But for the first half of this candle, I'm not going to have any color. I'm just going to keep it nice and plain. But for the second layer for this candle, I'm going to go for a yellow color, like almost a sunset color. That's the type of kind of look that I really want to go for. I'm just measuring out my wax for my second pillar candle, and for that candle I'm gonna go for some color. And according to Livemoor's website, you can add color between 70 to 75 degrees, and you can pour your candles anywhere between 65 to 55 degrees. I added my color for this candle here at 70 degrees Celsius, and I don't normally wait around for a certain temperature before pouring into my candle molds or containers. I just normally mix for 2 minutes, or mix until my color flakes has dissolved, and then I pour straight into my candle molds. So as you guys can see here, I'm at 70 degrees. The color flakes that I got are from Cosy Owl. I leave all the color flakes that I'm using for this video down below, and obviously all the equipment that I'm using. As you guys can see here, it's a really nice blue color. Hopefully it will turn out the way I want it to turn out. I'm going for a sky blue, I don't know if I mentioned that, or a baby blue type of color. As soon as you start making pillar candles, you cannot go back. It's just too hard to stop. They're so addicting to make. I bought so much molds from AliExpress, and honestly I'm just looking forward to using them all up and, you know, play around with the colors. And for the last candle right here, I'm measuring my wax, and this mold is a vanity chair mold, and honestly I can't wait until you guys see the results and until I unmold all these candles, because it's just that's my favorite part of it, just unmolding the candles and seeing the results. So over here I'm at 65 degrees. I've tried pouring at a lower temperature, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a light brown color. I'm trying to go for a brown color vanity chair. I'm gonna go ahead and add a generous amount. I added a bit too much, you guys, a bit excited with these colors, and I'm gonna just, you know, mix until all the flakes is dissolved, and then go ahead and pour right into my candle mold. And I completely forgot about my middle candle mold right here, you know, the one that I'm trying to go for, an ombre sunset type of style. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a few yellow flakes over here and mix until obviously the flakes are fully dissolved, and then go ahead and pour my second layer of the candle right on top. And finally, for the end result, so it has been 24 hours since I made these candles. As you guys can see, I'm just getting rid of the wick holders, and I'm just going to go ahead and start taking them out of the mold. Obviously, don't forget the blue tack. So all you need to do is just rub it a little bit like that, and look how easy that comes off of the mold. Honestly, the best mold that I've ever used. I love the blue. I think I could have done better with the blue, honestly, but it's not too bad. And again, I'm going to go ahead and unmold the other candle. Hopefully that will turn out nice, and I'll go through all the details with you guys in the clip coming up very soon. But I just want to show you how easy it was to unmold. I love how easy it was to work with KERA Soy. I highly recommend you guys trying it out as well, and let me know your thoughts if you have tried it out and your experience working with it. And for the last candle right here is the vanity chair candle, and honestly I loved this candle. I definitely want to do it in another colors, in pink or white. Let me know how I did making these candle molds, and let me know which one you like the best down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And right now, let's go through the details of my results and of KERA Soy in the next clip coming up right now.
Alright my loves, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the little clip of me making these pillar candles. They're literally right there, and I also made 2 extra ones behind the scenes. I just really wanted to play more with the molds that I got. But in this part of the video, I really want to go through what I've learned with pillar candles and also share with you guys the results in a little bit more details. And I really want to start with this pillar candle right here. So over here I was trying to go for an ombre look, but in my previous video, if you guys haven't seen it, I'll link it down below, when I made the bubble candles and the shell candles, I actually completely forgot how to make the ombre type of look. The one mistake that I actually did with the ombre effect, I don't really like the way it turned out. I actually let my wax harden up way too much. So my recommendation is, if you are trying to go for the ombre look, don't wait until your candle completely cools down before pouring your second layer. So I would say wait about half an hour, then go ahead and pour your second layer of your choice. So for example, over here you guys, you can see a very strict kind of line of where I poured my second color, and I really don't like that look. The type of look that I really want to go to is the color actually blending in with the white. Another thing that I've struggled with is actually centering the wick. As you guys can see here, my wick is off center, but do make sure that you center the wick properly before pouring in your candles. But practice makes perfect, honestly. Like I said at the start of the video, I am fairly new, and I know that with time I'll get better at it. This wick is completely off center, you guys, and that would actually affect the performance of the candle. Another thing that I found is I got some wax residue around my wick over here, and that you can just fix it with a heat gun. Moving on to my next candle, which is the blue one. I would have loved a little bit more blue. I think it's got more of a greyish tone, and I don't like that. I want it to be very blue, and I do have some wax residue around the wick as well. I would definitely heat gun the top to smooth that out and to just get rid of all the wax that's stuck on the wick. I think this wick is not too much to the center, but it's a little bit better than the one before. Moving on is this candle right here. So this candle right here, I actually poured at a lower temperature. I poured it at 65 degrees, and with my 2 pillar candles over there, I poured at a fairly high temperature, which is between 70 to 75 degrees. I got wet spots on this side of the candle and this side of the candle, as you guys can see here up close. When I did that candle again, but I poured it at a higher temperature, I did not get any wet spots whatsoever. So this is the candle that I made off camera, and I got no wet spots whatsoever, and I poured that at 75 degrees Celsius. So with pillar candles, it's basically similar as candle container candles. Do expect some imperfections, such as a bit of rough tops or kind of wax stuck to the wick a bit, so that you can smooth that down with a heat gun. Wet spots, frosting, all of that does happen even when you're making pillar candles. And another thing as well that I struggled with is when I poured my wax into the mold, to this mold, my mold kind of went sideways a little bit, so my candle is not actually flat, it's a bit tilted. When you put it on a flat surface, it tilts to the side, and that bugs me. But at least I got a wick that's in the center. But other than that, it's actually a beautiful candle, and I love the color as well. And for the last candle that I made is this knot candle. This is my favorite candle, honestly. I love the way it looks. I could use it as a paperweight, and as well the wick is in the center, so that's good. I love the color of the KERA Soy Pillar Wax. I love the creaminess of it. It's just so beautiful. I love how this turned out. So in this part of the video, I really want to talk to you guys about KERA Soy Pillar Wax. So I'm on Livemoor's website right now, and I just want to talk to you guys a bit about it, just give you a background information. Obviously I'm not going to read everything that's on the website, or else we'll be here forever. But the first thing that I want to point out is KERA Soy Pillar Wax is a 100% natural soy wax product. It is suitable for pillar candles, wax melts and wax tarts, and fragrance and color can be added. I personally don't like adding fragrance to my molds, just because, you guys, to get the fragrance smell out of the mold is a nightmare. I used a fragrance on one of my knitted candles, and honestly I haven't been able to get rid of the smell, and so I've just kept it nice and plain. I don't want any fragrance in my candles. I just prefer it plain. Kerex is actually supplying the KERA Soy Pillar Wax in both palette form and flake form, so you can get either one if it's ordered to you. KERA Soy is biodegradable and vegan friendly, and no animal testing has been carried out during its manufacture. KERA Soy Pillar Blend does not require additives other than fragrance and color required by the candle maker, and they also give you some information about molds. Molds should be clean and free of contaminants. They should be at least at room temperature, although preheating to approximately 45 to 50 degrees can be beneficial. I personally didn't heat up any of my molds. With all the time that I've made pillar candles, I've never heated up my molds, and my candles came out perfectly fine. I don't have any frosting so far. You can heat the wax to approximately 75 degrees and add your dye, and obviously mix until it's fully dissolved, and you can pour straight into your candle mold. And Livemoor actually recommends that you pour around 55 to 65 degrees. Pouring at 65 degrees didn't work for me. I actually loved pouring at higher temperature with KERA Soy Pillar Wax, so that's what I'm going to be doing. But obviously test different types of pouring temperature and see what works for you. Of course, we all know the drill with wicking. You're going to go through several wick series and wick sizes to see what works best for these candles. Even though these candles are mainly decorative candles, but you do have to actually test if these wick are safe enough for the candles, just because some customers actually burn these candles, so you have to ensure that these wicks are appropriate for the pillar candles that you're making. One last piece of information: KERA Soy is a single pour wax. However, when you are dealing with larger molds, you may need to do a double pour. If you want to read further, there will be a link down below so you guys can get familiar with the wax a little bit more. So if you guys haven't seen my previous video where I did an unboxing from Livemoor, I've been saying Livemoor for the longest, and the pronunciation is Livemoor. It's not Livemoor. I've been saying it wrong, so I do apologize. But I basically picked up these wicking pins just because sometimes the regular wick holders can be actually too heavy for some molds. So for example, this is a cloud mold in a mini version, and if I was to put the regular wick holder, it would weigh down the mold too much. But if I was to put a wick just like so, it wouldn't weigh down my molds. So one thing that I've struggled with, you guys, and I've also struggled with both wicking pins, is the fact that it leaves a stamp of the wicking pin on my wax. So for example, so as you guys can see, it has a stamp of my wick at the bottom, and it's just so annoying. I had the same problem with my other wicks, but I can heat gun this part of my candle and see if that would work out. So when I bought this wicking pin, you guys, I thought all I need to do was just wrap my wick around and that would be it. And it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work with this mold right here when I tested it out. I kept on rolling, so I kept on rolling the wick around my pin, but it would just like, you know, it would just like undo itself. So then I figured out, you guys, I figured out that because my wick is a raw wick, so they don't have any wax coating on it, so it wouldn't actually stay in place. Eventually it will undo itself. I was like, why is my wick not holding in place? And then the next day I figured out that all I needed to do was just literally pinch it through, and then that would be it. I thought I'd let you guys know that's another struggle that I had to deal with. But you know what, you guys, I'm glad that I had these struggles and mistakes while I'm making these pillar candles, which is weird. I never really had any of them when I made the last candles, but with these ones I did. I've actually tested Eco Cocoa, and now that I've tested KERA Soy, I pretty much like both of them. Obviously one is coconut wax and the other soy wax, but honestly I don't have anything bad to say about KERA Soy. I love the creaminess of it. I love how easy it was to work with. I love that it comes in palette form or flake form, which makes it easier to measure. Yeah, yeah, but you guys, I genuinely do not have anything bad to say about this wax. Obviously it's not like a candle container where I'm having to test out the hot throw and the cold throw for it. I'm just having to see how well it holds the color and see how well it burns as well after I burn these candles. And if you guys are interested in picking up KERA Soy, my discount code is still valid, Mawahib10, so make sure that you use it. I'll leave a link in the description down below just in case. But I'm gonna end today's video right here and say please make sure that you click on that subscribe button down below. Give this video a huge thumbs up, comment down below on what videos you'd like to see from me in the future, and please don't forget to turn your post notifications on so you guys can get notified every time I post. With that being said, have a great week and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye guys.